Hey James, how are you doing there?
I'm great. How are you, David?
Very good, thank you so much.
Diese Ringe stehen für die innige Hingabe, die sie beide...
Dort steht ihr bei, Thomas!
Entschuldigung.
Es geht um Leben und Tod! Setz den Ring ein und rette mich! Jetzt sofort! Herrsch, Nemine! Ring frei! Oh, why?
Ich hoffe nur, wir sind nicht zu spät.
Großer Gott, jetzt gibt es schon 2 von denen.
What's so interesting about Sonic 2 is that it feels so different from the first one in terms of scope, in terms of mood, and also of set pieces as well. So what were kind of your first thoughts when you read the script for the first time?
Well, I think my thoughts were very similar to what you just described, which is, it was a more contained story the first time around. It was more of just Sonic and I, and now the floodgates have opened, and we've unleashed him and his new buddy and a new villain and in Knuckles alongside Robotnik, who also returns. But I think that's it. It's turbocharged this time around. You see him globetrotting around the world, trying to prove himself a real hero. He's eager to get out there and spread his wings a little bit. Yeah, it felt like the first movie times 10.
You said it. I mean, the energy and the dynamic just changes so much. And for you as well, I mean, you have some scenes where you play against 2 or 3 high energy characters that actually aren't there, right? So how hard is it for you to actually get into that sort of mindset and play out the scenes like they did in the film? Yeah.
It's a great question, and I find myself doing it more and more. There's a lot more of these films where you mix live action with animation, and it's definitely a technical skill set that I wasn't used to having to use. But you don't talk to Sonic like he's a hedgehog. You talk to Sonic like he's a friend, and you don't talk to Tails or Knuckles or any of these characters as an animated cartoon. You speak to, well, on the day when we're filming, I'm talking to a tennis ball on a stick, or a sandbag, or a piece of green tape. But I think it's just imagining. It's wanting to keep the conversation very grounded in reality, and not speaking down to them at all. It's like you're speaking to them as peers, as real human beings basically, but they just happen to be brightly colored rodents.
Yeah. Tom is actually giving Sonic some fatherly advice in this film. I think what it kind of means to be a responsible hero. But what would you actually do if you got a hold of the Master Emerald with unlimited powers?
Well, I would be contradicting everything I said to Sonic, wouldn't I? The responsibility. Well, I think that's true. I think that's a nice theme to relay to the audience and to anybody just kind of going through life, really, is I think they said it specifically in one of the first Spider-Man movies, which is, with great power comes great responsibility, and that's true in so many areas in life. And so, if I had the power of the magic emerald, I don't know. I wouldn't want it. It's too much responsibility. Too many things could go poorly. I would want to make sure that it's only harnessed and used for good. I know that's sort of a boring answer, but that's what it would be.
No, it's perfectly fine. Could you talk maybe finally for the last question about sort of your connection to the Sonic universe before you entered kind of the films, and how that changed in the course of the film, maybe?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I liken my experience to Sonic to my experience going through the first X-Men movies, which is, I was aware of the X-Men comics, but I wasn't a super fan. It wasn't, anything that I knew everything about. But slowly, as I became part of the movie series, I became more knowledgeable of it. My enthusiasm for the characters grew, and for the world and that sort of X-Men universe. And similarly to Sonic, it was the same thing. I knew the video game. I was familiar with it. I was in my teenage years when I was playing the game, and so I spent a lot of time playing the game, getting familiar with it. It was a lovable character. It was a super popular game. And then I sort of outgrew video games at that point and started to focus on my career. But then Sonic the movie came along, and it was like, oh, okay, well, this is a fun world. This is a world where kids can enjoy this movie, adults can enjoy the movie, and And I thought I, was excited to be a part of it, and again learn more about the Sonic world and how deep that goes. And I was not aware of how huge the fan base was. It's massive, and all the different worlds and characters that exist in it. So I'm proud to be a part of it, and it's an exciting thing.
Thank you so much, James. Have a great day. And
yeah, my pleasure. Thank you. You as well.
Yeah.
Fürchtet euch nicht, Bürger!
Du bist echt mies in sowas!
Deine negative Einstellung hilft hier niemandem.
Wir halten zusammen, egal was passiert.
Du bist untalentiert. Untrainiert. Unwürdig!
Du hast was vergessen. Unaufhaltbar.
Halt still und stirb!
Für jemanden, der Knuckles heißt, schlägst du wirklich wie ein Weichei.